Hello everybody, today we are going to talk how to validate the data coming from the input. So we are going to learn how to react when somebody give us something wrong and our input, right? So when somebody type wrong type of the value in the input, right? So for example, when I build a program, now we are being asked for 1, 2, 3 or 4, and now I type something like that, and as you can see, something is wrong, right? Or when we do something like that, when we type right guys here, and now we are being asked if I want to continue the program and I do something like that, wow, I am being asked a few times here for that, right? And how to make it without errors like that. So how to do that? Well, first let's focus on that guy here. So do you want to continue the program, right? When I typed more characters, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what happened? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages. Do you want to continue the program? And why is that so? When I type 4, we'll have 4, right? Why? It's because it's working like that. When we put anything in input, right? So in that place here, when we click the enter on the keyboard, right? When we click that, we have something in our memory, temporary memory, something what is called buffer. It is a temporary array, right? And when we type something in input, everything is going to be inside the temporary array, okay? In the temporary thing. And after it, one by one, it will be sent to that guy here. So we have only one variable here. Because it's one variable, we will take only one value of that array, right? And send it to that label, right? To that variable. So the continue will take, for example, a, and then we have got here a condition that is checking if that character is not an y or n, right? Because it's not, we are again being asked, do you want to continue the program? But this time we didn't have a chance to take to give another option, right? We are again being asked, do you want to continue the program? Do you want to continue the program? Do you want to continue the program? Why? Because when there is something in the buffer, it must be totally cleared, okay? Everything from the buffer must be assigned somewhere. So again, it was something, it was done instantly. The value s was put into continuous, and again the condition was checked, it was true, so again and we didn't have a chance to put anything here in input, anything new, right? So the buffer lost the D, then F, then G, and if we had anything like, for example, the right characters, so for example here the Y, you'll notice that he's trying to end the program, but he's not doing that this time. Why? Let's see. Let's see when I do something like that. This is the last character. Okay, it kinda worked, but when I do something like that it is in the middle, right? You'll notice that something is wrong. That thing is blinking here, at least on my computer, and I won't be able to type anything here. You should test it on your own computer. And look, why is that so? Because when we left that loop, because there was y somewhere, right? that letter here, we were checked. I mean that value from here went into the choice here, into that guy here. Wow. Okay, but let's focus on that that thing here. Let's fix that guy first. How to do that? We can use something what is called the ignore function, and that function by default ignores one character. So what will happen when I run the program now and I will type something like 2 characters? As you can see now, when I type 2 characters, we have only one message, so it's kinda good. But when I type 3 characters, something is wrong. The more characters I type, the more messages I have, right? So we should change the default argument, which is for that ignore function, by sending it here. We can type something very big here, like for example 1024. So probably nobody would type more characters like that, but sometimes there might be we might take the data not from our user from the keyboard, but we might take them from the, for example, a file. Then we should ignore more characters, like all of them, all possible one, and then we can use something what is called numeric limits, and this is a class. You don't need to understand it right now. I'm just telling you that this thing will return very big number, the maximum number, right? And that might be in the be the size of our buffer, right? So that is the maximum size of the guy. And here we can add also the next argument. This thing is representing enter, so enter, right? And if he meets enter before checking all the characters, that's okay. Then we can also just go on with our program. So let's check it out. Now when I type something like that, as you can see, great. Okay. Now I have to type always the right guy, right? Even if I type Y, no, somewhere. I want you to type Y or no. When I type Y, everything works fine. Great. But now, when I type here the right things for the radius of the circle, for example, everything is okay. But what when I type here characters like that? Wow, something is wrong. And here, it's not enough to do just that thing. It's not enough. Let's copy that. Let's see. Is it enough? No, it's not enough. Now let's do it that way. Bach. It's not enough. Why? Because when we type a value which is not the same type as a variable, so I was typing here characters and I was trying to assign characters to integer, right? Something is wrong. I can't do something like that. Well, I can't assign more than one, right? I can't do that. That's wrong. So how to avoid situation like that? Well, we can do something like that. Why? That thing is not right thing, so it is not the same type as we have in variable, right? So why things coming from the input to the choice are not the same type as here, we will do something like that. Scene clear. So we'll use the method that will clear the state of our input, because look what happens here. We have a method state before, and like that, read state. So RD state stands for read state, right? Read state, and it is reading the state of our input. So it will return if it's right or maybe it's not right. Okay, so state before and state after. And now let's check it out. When I type, for example, it didn't go well, but it's because I typed the value for that cin. I should start from that guy here, okay? We have to fix that guys here also, but let's start from here. So I should type the wrong characters, for example here. I type here wrong characters. I'm expecting the 1, 2 or 3 in the choice, right? But I'm typing right now many characters. And now as you can see, we got here something like state before 4. After the clearing, we have the state after 0. If I didn't do it, if I didn't clear, what would happen? As you can see, we have to clear the state in situations like that, because when the state is not cleared, we can't put anything anymore into the input. Okay, so remember about clearing the input. In situation like that, we don't need to clear an input, because look, we are taking characters here, like so we are taking characters, so anything is a character. We just need to ignore everything, every other character, and we have everything right then. But when we want to, when we are expecting the integer values and we are sending the characters value, then we should clear, use the clear. Okay, that thing can go to comment, and let's do something like that here. Clear the screen. Let's send to the output menu again, and let's inform our user you have just typed the wrong data to the input. Repeat or something like that. That's your decision how to inform your user. And as you can see, you have just typed the wrong data to the input. Now you can type, for example, the right one. And now here, right? Blah, everything is wrong. So how to change it? Well, let's create a function that will help us do it. It will be faster for us, because as you have noticed, there are many instructions sent here, so why to repeat them many times? So we'll make a function that will return ball, and we'll name it is valid. Okay, and it will take string. That's a parameter. And now in that function we will check at the beginning if the cin read state. So if the state is wrong, so state is wrong when it is not equal to 0. So if the state is wrong, we have to clear the state, right? And everything is fine then. We have to also ignore like that. Okay, we have to also ignore. and then we should clear the screen so it will be easier to read for our user later, our program, and initiate menu again, and we can send here something like, for example, error message that we will decide later how it will looks like. So error message and return false. False will mean that it's not valid, right? It's not valid because we were taken to that guy here, to that instructions here. Otherwise, just return true. True won't be returned, will never be returned if that guy is written, right? Because I told you that when in function our PC meets the return statement, he is leaving the function instantly to the place where it was invoked. Okay, and now we can do something like that. For example, do while, right? And as the condition, we will do something like while is valid. Why it's not valid? Please take the radius. And when it's not valid, please also tell our user something like the radius is wrong. Please type it again. So it's the error message, right? Let's see how it works. Circle, now I'm typing something wrong. The radius is wrong. Please type it again. Type it again. I'm not going to let you go through that. You have to type the right radius. Now you can go. You are free, okay? So everything works fine. Now we have to also do the same thing for other guys. So let's train a bit. So let's copy that way. Do, and here we had let's just type the data is wrong. Please type it again. Now scene A, B, and now oops, where did I go? A and H. The data is wrong. Now you'll notice that when we type anything wrong, then we are not going to go through anything, right? So our program is now almost perfect. Okay. What is the situation when I don't want to send a message? I could do it that way. For example, let's overload that function here. And we don't want message. Okay, so let's do it without message then. Let's just do it that way, right? And we don't want message. And now we don't need to type any message here, but well, when I do it that way, let's see how it's working. Enter the radius, I'm typing wrong radius. I didn't compile it. Sorry, I didn't use the right function. Of course, our PC is thinking and he knows which one we should use. And now, as you can see, maybe it would be good if I did something like that, because it didn't inform us enough after making an error. So now I'm just being asked enter the radius, enter the radius, enter the radius until I make it the right radius, right? And okay. So how is it working again? We are being asked here for the radius, and we are taking it from the input to the R variable, and then we are checking if the condition is valid. So we are invoking the function here. We are checking if the state is wrong or not. Well, if we type the right guy, so if we type the integer, we are passing that guy and we are returning true. And if I return the true here, it will be negated by that exclamation mark to 0, and we'll calculate the area of circle. Otherwise, if the state is wrong, we are clearing the state, so we can again use the input, right? So we can again later take the value to that variable here. Then we are ignoring characters that might be after that might be in our buffer. Okay, so we have to clear the buffer, and then we are doing the system clear screen and initiating of menu, so it will be easier to read for our use, and we are returning false. So we are changing false with the negation exclamation mark to true, and because condition is true, we are again sending to the output that things here, and until we get the right values, right? So everything works fine now. Now we are secure. Okay, that's all in the lesson. Thank you very much.